An interesting reason I hadn't learned before for why we make 100 brachos a day. That's connected with this week's parsha. So the classic reason that's given is that if you look in the Mishnah Berurah on why there's a concept of making 100 brachos a day. It's learned from Sukkim. It's learned from the fact that it says Ma Hashem Shmuli Mach. What does Hashem request from you? Ki im liyira, except to fear Him, and etc. etc. And Chazal learn it means rather. Al Tikrei Ma Ela Mea. What does Hashem request from you? About 100 brachos. There's also a concept as well that's brought down the Mishnah Berurah about the idea that there was 100 people dying like every day for a plague, and then David Melech said from there must be that we have to make 100 brachos a day, which is an interesting concept. But furthermore, I saw another idea in the Kitzur today that I didn't know, which is that there's we have in this week's parsha in Kisavo we have the kolos, the curses. And the curses, there are 98 curses mentioned in the parsha, but he says something different. He says if you count up the fact that it says afterwards, it says ksiv kol choli v'chol maka, also all the sicknesses and plagues. Those are each individually going to be counted as one more, and as a result of that, you end up with 100. So those 100 brachos that we say every day actually are combating the 100 of the 100 curses, which are really 98 plus those two kol choli v'chol maka. Which was an interesting idea behind this idea that Hashem really, with these curses, the whole purpose of it is for us to really just get closer to Him. And I think this is especially appropriate when it's talking about the severe things that Hashem does, is to recognize that Hashem's taking this seriously in a negative sense, but also in a very positive sense. And that idea is furthermore talked about in the article brings down. I like this pirush a lot from Rav David Feinstein. He brings down this the concept of what's the symbolism behind the number of psukim in the parsha. So he says that this week's parsha we have there's 122, and that's the way to remember that is the word la'avadav, which is the same gematria, which is to tell you that all these curses are only for one thing. It's for us to remember that we're Hashem's servants, right? We agreed to this. This is a relationship. This is what we have, and therefore, if we violate that, then there's natural consequences. But this whole purpose is really just to get closer to Hashem. So instead of looking at this as a way of punishment, look at this as we can rise up from this and defend ourselves from any punishments by just getting closer to Hashem by doing the 100 brachos every day. So and actually it's not as hard as you think. If you go through the Mishnah Berurah, you make the whole calculation. If you daven 3 times a day and you include some basic stuff on the side, you're ready to reach 100. Well, and except for Shabbos and Yom Tov, which that's why we have Oneg Shabbos and things like that to try and make more brachos. But I think it's an interesting idea that brachos are really what combat, curses. So we should be careful in making our brachos.